Hey yo, how's it going? So this is super late. Long story short, I've been sick the past few days, and I tweeted out about it too. I think like on Sunday, the original day when GBA goes up. So yeah, if you guys follow my Twitter, you know I've been sick. So we'll hopefully try to get this up today on Thursday, and then we should be back to normal on Sunday. Since I am feeling a lot better now, I don't think I sound as sick. So yeah, we are facing Goldoadragon, aka Goldie. His channel link and stuff will be down below. Definitely check out his side. He did his side of his battle live. If you guys do want to see a live version of this, so I will try to do my last 2 weeks of the regular season live. If not, then I'll most definitely be doing playoffs live. Which I think at this point we're pretty much locked into playoffs. I think Goldoa has a chance to make playoffs if we lose and he wins out, so we got to keep an eye on that. But unfortunately, much like last week, I didn't spend a whole lot of time with this build, so there are going to be some things that just kind of overlooked. So yeah, hopefully they don't come back to bite us. But first off, biggest threats on his team, Reshiram and Tapu Lele, are absolutely terrifying. Necrozma also is a little bit scary in psychic terrain because it gets boosted photon geysers, and if he does bring a boosting Necrozma, then that could be a bit of an issue. Besides that, I feel like we can deal with everything else. I'm a little bit concerned about Ditto and potentially a Trick Room stack attacker, but we should have measurements for those. So looking at our first team member here, obviously Marshadow. Spooky played offensively with Dual Stab, Priority, and Shadow Sneak, and Rock Tomb hits absolutely everything. I didn't feel like a bulk upset was really gonna come into handy this match, and being able to switch up moves is going to be very helpful for us. Plus, I don't want to be a adamant nature and possibly be in terrain and not be able to outspeed Superior, which I think is as fast as Mon. So we are just running jolly enough speed to outspeed that. Next off, we have good old Bam Bam, aka Snorlax. This time I did make sure to at least try and optimize the EV spread for Snorlax, but we are Recycle, Curse, Earthquake, and Facade. I was very iffy on whether or not I wanted to bring Facade to this game. I almost went with Return just for the extra damage, but on the off chance that he may have like what's it called, Scald, Vaporeon, maybe Discharge or Static Zapdos, then if we get burned or static, then that's really good for us, and then that way we get boosted facades and we're not neutered by the burn from a potential Scald. So that's where Facade, I think, really edges out Body Slam and Return. Although the extra damage isn't going to be there initially unless we do get status, I'm very positive that he's going to try to bring some type of status to deal with Snorlax, since I don't know if he is going to want to bring Scrafty or not. And then if he doesn't bring Scrafty, he doesn't necessarily have a good way to hit Snorlax very hard. With our EV spread here, we can pivot into Lele, to Reshiram, Superior, Necrozma, even Zapdos if it is offensive for some reason. So yeah, Snorlax here, which is very fat mon to pivot and hopefully be able to sweep late game if we get rid of any potential haze or phasing mons that he has. Next off, we have Thornswoggle rocking a nice Spadef Aquaberry set. The main reason why I wanted this, mostly Spadef, is because of Hidden Power Fire Superior, and I guess Heat Wave Necrozma if he does want to bring Necrozma. So I just went with a more Spadef set here. Spikes in case we are able to hazard stacking, because I don't think he's going to want to bring Donphan. And then if he does bring Zapdos or Superior, I don't know if he can fit a Defog on them. So if we can hazard stack them early on, that's going to be amazing for us. Then we just have Dual Stab and Leech Seed. Leech Seed just to kind of chip things down and gain back some type of recovery. Next off, we have Dragonium Z Garchomp here. I've really been liking Garchomp a lot this season. It's definitely been pulling its weight, and in this matchup it can definitely also put in a lot of work. We have Dual Stab, Rocks, and Toxic. Toxic is really only there for things like Donphan, Zapdos, Vaporeon, and Superior. If I'm not able to knock them out with Earthquake or Dragonium Z respectively, then I can at least Toxic them, put them on a timer, and then that way the rest of my team can beat them down slowly over time and try to prevent him from just staying in with them and being extremely annoying. But we do have enough speed for the Reshiram, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't think he's going to want to bring a super speedy Zapdos. Or is it enough speed for Lele? I think Lele is faster than Reshiram, so I think the speed was for Lele, but either way, we outspeed everything that is not Superior or Mega B. So our next team member here is going to be Darkrai, which is missing 4 EVs apparently. a nice Life Orb set. I did really want to go with Choice Specs on this set because I could literally just bring this in and click Dark Pulse if he doesn't bring Ditto to transform into me, or if he doesn't bring Scrafty, which I'm very on the fence on whether or not he brings Scrafty, but realistically Scrafty is like his only answer for this Darkrai. So I figured if I go Life Orb with Focus Blast, I can predict the Scrafty switch in and just smack it with the Focus Blast and then go from there. So that's the main reason why I went Life Orb over Specs. If he didn't have Scrafty, or if I knew he wouldn't bring Scrafty, then I think Choice Specs definitely would have been the item I wanted here. Either way, though, with Life Orb, Darkrai is still going to be able to absolutely 2-hit KO just about everything, or OHKO what it can't 2-hit KO with its coverage, so that's really good. And then our final team member is going to be a Mega Medicham with Fake Out, Dual Stab, and Double Edge. Double Edge is really only there in case he brings a very physically defensive Necrozma in order to try and check my Medicham. Just because Double Edge is going to absolutely destroy. I know Fake Out and Shadow Sneak on Marshadow is a little bit odd because he could bring Lele, but there's a chance that maybe he doesn't bring it. And plus Terrain's not going to be up the entire battle, so when Terrain isn't up, I can use my priority hopefully to my advantage. And then Zen Headbutt and High Jump Kick, I just like their damage output more than something like Drain Punch or Psycho Cut, especially in Terrain. Zen Headbutt in Psychic Terrain is murdering anything and everything, and his only switch into Zen Headbutt is going to be either Necrozma, Lele, or Scrafty, all three of which I either destroy with High Jump Kick or Double Edge respectively. So yeah, that's the squad. With that being said, let's get into the battle. Hey, yo, how's it going? If you guys kind of skipped right to this point and didn't listen to the first 5 or so minutes, I've been sick. I tweeted out that I was sick on Twitter, so if y'all follow me, you will know why this is going up late. So yeah, hopefully we'll be back on track this weekend. I don't know if I sound different to y'all or not, but I'm just finally starting to feel better. But yeah, we are facing Goldoadragon, Goldie here, coach of the New York Empoleons. Channel link and stuff will be down below, so go ahead and check him out. So I did go over my team at the beginning of the video here, and looking at the team that Goldoa brought, I was really surprised to see that he didn't want to bring the Scrafty and the Vaporeon. Well, Scrafty I was very on the fence about, but I felt like Vaporeon definitely had a good matchup to come to this game. I am surprised that he brought double Psychic, but I guess something like defensive Necrozma makes a lot of sense for my Mega Medicham. And Mega Beedrill and Reshiram are probably going to be his main sources of speed control. And then Lele, my biggest fear is that it's something like Choice Specs or maybe Twisted Spoon, so I'll have to watch out for that. And then Ditto, I guess, could potentially also be Scarfed, although Scarf Reshiram makes a lot of sense in this matchup just because it is a little bit difficult to switch into Reshiram with my team, and late game it can definitely clean up, so I have to be careful with the Ditto and the Reshiram. And Mega B shouldn't be an issue as long as I keep Ferrothorn and Garchomp around to chip it down with Rough Skin and Iron Barbs. So he ends up leading off with an Necrozma. Turn 1, I figured he may just want to get up his rocks. No, he just ends up going straight for his Z move, which turns out to be Inferno Overdrive, which is actually a little bit scary. I am very specially defensive and I do have the Aqua Berry, but I didn't check the calc, so I wasn't entirely too sure if I could live this, but I had a gut feeling that I could. Regardless though, I felt that because he may want to go for rocks turn 1, I should go ahead and just get up a layer of spikes, but no, he just goes for the aggressive move in the Inferno Overdrive. Now I can choose to either sack my Ferrothorn here or try to save it for later, and I figured if anything I can save it just to use it for Death Fodder on the Reshiram, the Lele, or his Mega Beedrill, so that's why I'm making an aggressive switch into my Darkrai. Plus here I thought, okay, now he's going to go for rocks as he hits me with another Heat Wave. I go for the Life Orb Dark Pulse, but because of Necrozma's ability, Prism Armor, he is going to be able to tank the hit and in return paralyze me with the Thunder Wave, which really sucks because with him not having Scrafty, my Darkrai absolutely blew him back. So maybe this was a bit of a questionable play on my part, but in the long run, I guess it doesn't matter too much. As I knock out the Necrozma, it is now 6-5. I do have a layer of spikes up, which is nice. However, though, he could have Defog on the Mega Beedrill or the Zapdos, so I do have to watch out for that. As in comes his own Darkrai, which is actually Ditto. He is going to be faster than me because I'm paralyzed, and I'm thinking that this is probably going to be a choice Darkrai? I'm not a choice Darkrai, sorry, choice Ditto. So that's actually why I decided to bring in my Snorlax here, thinking, oh, if he's locked on the Dark Pulse, this is my chance to potentially go for a free curse. But he switches up moves and reveals to not be Scarfed, which is a little bit scary, but I mean that Focus Blast damage from his Ditto is not boosted. I'm very Spadef bulky, so it's not going to be doing entirely too much damage to me. Unfortunately though, when I did run the calc, I accidentally left in Life Orb on the calc, which is why I went for Recycle this turn, thinking that his Focus Blast would pop my berry, and then that way I could recycle it back. In hindsight, I should have gone for another Curse here, and then this turn, either gone for the Recycle or just gone for the Facade, because Earthquaking there was just a really bad play. Like, going for Recycle and then Earthquake are probably the two worst plays I think I made in this entire battle. That kind of set me back a little bit, but it's not too big of an issue, as he does reveal to have Defog on the Zapdos here. That's not entirely too bad. Like, I don't think the Zapdos can do too much to me. If he does want to Toxic me, that's fine. If he doesn't, that's fine. I'm probably just going to end up going for another Curse here to see what exactly he wants to do to me, as funny enough, he goes for the U-turn and pops my berry as he brings in the Lele. I don't think that Lele learns Trick. I looked it up during the moment that it was brought out, and it didn't learn Trick, which was really nice. It doesn't get Switcheroo either, so this means that I should be able to just kind of stay in here for free and not really worry too much about what he wants to do, as it turns out that he has a Toxic. So that is a little bit of an issue, but this does mean that now I have Facade boosted Facades. Not only am I going to be boosting the Facade by stab, but now I'm Toxic, so I get the extra boost from that as well. Which means his next turn, I can probably go ahead and try to go either for a Curse or go for a direct offensive move in the Facade. I'm already at +2 attack, +2 defense. This Facade is going to absolutely destroy anything that is in front of me. As down goes the Zapdos, that's really good for the rest of my team. One less Pokemon I have to worry about. As in comes his Ditto once again, because he is not a Scarf Ditto. This means that these matchups here between my Snorlax and his Ditto are essentially speed ties, and if I get lucky with my speed ties, then that's going to put me in a really good position in this battle, as the Toxic is kind of starting to rack up on me, which is a little bit scary. But at this point I figure that I can just kind of use Snorlax to try and punch as much of a hole in his team as I possibly can, to try and take advantage of that with my offense that I have in the back, and hoping that his Lele is not Scarfed. That means that my offense will definitely be able to deal with his offense, even if he does have a Scarf Reshiram in the back. As I believe I end up making another kind of questionable play here, and I go for the Recycle again instead of going straight for the Facade. I think what I was banking on was hopefully winning the speed tie. That way I could knock him out before he got any damage off on me, but that is not the case, as I do knock him out with one more Facade. In comes the Lele. At this point, if he is timid, max special attack, I easily live a Psychic. If he's modest or a boosting item, he knocks me out depending on a roll. And it turns out that he was actually a modest Scarf Tapu Lele, and he only had about a 30-ish% chance to actually get the roll to knock me out. So the roll was definitely in my favor to live, and luckily Snorlax is a big boy, and down goes the Lele as what is going on? As in comes the Mega Beedrill. I'm going to bring in my Garchomp here, because if he's not Scarf Reshiram, I just bring a Garchomp either way and I get a kill with my Dragonium Z. There's no way that Mega Beedrill is going to be able to knock me out with one hit, and there is no way that Reshiram should be able to knock me out unless he is Scarf. So Garchomp I felt was definitely my best switch in here, as he does end up bringing in the Mega Beedrill. I didn't even have to pop my Z move here, honestly. I could have just gone straight for an Outrage, or even I think an Earthquake, and both of those two moves would have knocked him out either way. But I figured, hey, I might as well just pop my Z move here if I'm not going to be able to use it later, or if I don't really have much use for it, because the animation is actually pretty cool. I really do like the animation of Devastating Drake. So down goes Mega Beedrill. His last mon is going to be the Reshiram, which I will be able to outspeed and just knock him out with the Outrage. If not, then I have Marshadow and Medicham still in the back if for some reason he does live. But it turns out that he was actually Choice Scarfed, which is actually a little bit annoying, because with this terrain still being up, there's no way that I'm going to be able to use my priority moves. So I figured that if anything, I can bring in my Marshadow here, go for a Spectral Thief, switch into my Ferrothorn to sack it off, and then from there fake out into a Shadow Sneak. Should knock out this Reshiram, so long as he doesn't crit my Mega Medicham or crit my Marshadow here, which he doesn't crit my Marshadow, which is really good. I do about 52-ish% to the Reshiram, and this is where I'm going to decide to sack off my Ferrothorn, because I know at this point he's locked into Dragon Pulse. Even if I could have lived two of these, I don't think I would have brought in Ferrothorn initially, because I don't have any way of hitting this Reshiram for super effective damage. At least by bringing in Ferrothorn now, I can use it just to stall out the last turn of the Psychic terrain, and then that way my Mega Medicham Fake Out will put him in range of where if he does knock out my Mega Medicham, the Shadow Sneak for my Mars Shadow will then knock him out. So I end up bringing in my Mega Medicham here. Fake Out is going to do about 30-ish%, if I'm not mistaken, 110%, guaranteeing me the victory with Shadow Sneak at this point. So after I go for the Fake Out, it shouldn't really matter if he does crit my Mega Medicham or not, because Mars Shadow just comes in regardless. But if he doesn't crit me, I can actually live this Dragon Pulse, and in return just knock him out cleanly with a double edge and not have to risk the high jump kick miss or the Zen headbutt miss. And that is going to be the 2-0 victory in the Durham Druddigons' favor here for week number 8, I want to say this was, of the GBA. So yeah, good game to Goldie there. Again, guys, check them out. Channel link and stuff down below. Leave a like if y'all enjoyed it. I will see you all again this Sunday, and then potentially on Monday with a draft analysis for something. So yeah, be on the lookout for that, and I will see you all later. So thank you all for watching.